Our pleasure and honor to introduce Astralis and especially your device. And can you say like hello and introduction to your Chinese fans?
Yeah, sure. You want me to hold it or you want to? Okay. Hey, I'm Device. I play for Astralis. It's my first time in China. I'm really excited to play down here and meet all of the fans.
Okay, thank you. So it's your first time to come to China. How do you feel Beijing so far, and what's your impression so far of Beijing?
So we landed yesterday. So far everything has been nice. The hotel is really nice. The food is nice. Yeah, everything has just been really nice for us. The only thing, it's really hard with the jet lag. Woke up in the middle of the night and was kind of confused. But yeah, I'm really excited to have some time to go see a lot of stuff. We want to go to the Chinese Wall. We want to see the Forbidden City and all of that. So yeah, definitely excited to see the culture and to meet some of the fans and the people here.
So I know you want to visit the Great Wall. Do you have any like food, Chinese food you want to have, or anything like panda? Have you ever seen panda before?
I've never seen a panda. This was the first thing I said to our manager. We want to go to see pandas. Other than that, everyone has told me about hot pot. I really want to try hot pot. But we have to go into to the city to have like some street food as well. I guess that's what like the food and everything and yeah, I'm just excited to be here. Honestly, it's really awesome.
Also, we have a small gift for you. So it's a Chinese traditional fence, and would you like open it?
Yeah, of course. Is it this way?
Yeah, this way.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
with the logo and everything.
Yeah, so on this side it's your ID device, and on the other side it's your Chinese nickname.
Chinese nickname, and what's my Chinese nickname?
Thank you for asking that. Do you know you are called esports Tom Cruise in Chinese fans? So it's Tom Cruise.
That's so nice.
Okay. Do you like your nickname? Do you like your nickname?
Yeah. It's the same in Europe and in US as well. It's pretty funny. I think that sometimes I can look like him, but yeah, it's a good nickname. For sure.
So in Europe also some people call you Tom Cruise?
Yeah, I think that every time I post a picture, everyone will always post Tom Cruise. So yeah, of course, it's a good nickname. Hopefully one day I can take a picture with him. That would be really funny.
I'm sure you will have a chance to do that. So you say you still have a little bit jet lag. So will it affect you guys training? Also, the later on the games.
I think that that's how you fold it. Yeah, I think that it will be okay. We are playing tomorrow. Most of us are trying to deal with the jet lag today. I think that a lot of the teams here actually are quite jet lagged, at least the European teams, also the American. So I'm not too worried about it. Of course, we're gonna face a Chinese team, VG, in the first game. So I'm sure they are not as jet lagged, if jet lagged at all. But we're just gonna take it one match at a time. We know we have the experience and the skill level to still be able to perform and yeah, we'll just have to do with some energy drinks or some coffee or something like that to keep us awake, and other than that, yeah, sleep at the right time.
Do you like any specific kinds of coffee, like mocha, cappuccino, or americano, or espresso?
Yeah, so I'm not really at the point where I drink americano yet. I drink mostly just coffee with milk. So yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of that today, trying to keep myself awake for at least until 11 in the evening. But yeah, that's the primary coffee I drink.
Okay, thank you. So can you introduce you guys' training schedule, like or normal training schedule? Like, do you do aim boats like 1,000, 2,000 aim boats per day or something like that?
So yeah, I think it's individually it's very different on how you want to train. I can start off with one, like a day for me could be wake up, breakfast, either do some physical training in the morning in the gym. And after that we have team practice, and before team practice some of us warm up with aimbots or playing on a deathmatch server. I like to play on a deathmatch server because you play against moving opponents. Other than aimbots, it's just like shooting people that are standing still. Then we have some hours of practice. After that we prepare for our games, look at some of the demos. Maybe you look at yourself. If you're having a tough period, you can maybe find some good things from your previous demos where you played well. And other than that, just eat good, sleep good, and train right. So in game, I feel like Glaive, for example, and Magisk, they run around and throw a lot of grenades and try to find new grenades. We can use in tactics and stuff like that. And the other guys in the team, we try to like warm up the aim and do new setups as CT and so on.
So you wake up at morning? Oh, it's impressive. A lot of players wake up at noon or afternoon.
Yeah.
It's pretty healthy style to like eat well and play well. Also, do you have any like advice, suggestion for CS:GO like leisure players, how they do this game better, or not just like practice in bowls or something like that?
I think that some of the most important things about playing CS is actually to enjoy the time you're spending. Somewhere in between, you can like. It will feel like sometimes that you are just playing just to get better, and sometimes it's actually just playing to have fun and evolving in that way. Then the time goes faster and everything feels more fun. I think that's really important, especially for young guys that or young people that want to play. Other than that, I think that of course watch the pros how they play, but also understand that the play style that the pros are playing is not the same that you're gonna play when you play on 5E Arena or Face It in Europe, right? The play style is different in which level you are playing at. So try to also find some good things to do against the people on your own level, and then just evolve.
So do you have some personal like trick so you can do like top 5 players of the world, make you become the top 5 players?
I think at the top, to become better, it's looking at your opponents. For example, I have the same role as Saiwu, Symbol previously when he was orbing. So I was looking at what was working for them and also looking at what wasn't working for them and trying to find out how I can make my opponents play worse or make them play into what I want them to do. It's really important at top level to have small grenades and setups where you actually force your opponents to do exactly what you want them to do. That's I think what makes you a top team and a top player, if you can play on your terms.
It's pretty impressive for like audience that your great team works. So you guys also be called Danish cold tech by Chinese fans because you spray through smoke. So what do you think about that?
It's funny. I think that especially in 2018, Glaive and Sipix were like the masters of getting kills through smokes. So always when I was watching them, I was trying to learn how they were doing it, and it's a funny nickname for sure. Actually, there were so many pro players that also thought that they were cheating and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird to be in that situation where people actually thought that we were doing something that they weren't. But other than that, I just think that they have a game sense and a play style that allows them to get more kills through the smokes. And as I said before, they are making the opponents play on their terms so they can actually use this play style.
Thank you. So for IEM Beijing, are you confident about this time? So are you confident about get the championship?
I would say we're fairly confident. Obviously, we had a pretty bad day at Blast Pro Series. The first day we lost against NIP, like really big, and we also lost against FaZe, who are here, like 16-2. So of course we know that our top level or our bottom level was really low there, but the next day we kind of beat a lot of the teams we want to beat. So we actually feel pretty good. It's more or less for us about just doing good in the group stage, securing our spot in the semi-final, and we'll take it one match at a time. But yeah, we feel good about the chance of winning down here, and it's more or less about preparing for the games and fighting the jet lag, and I think we'll do fine. I think we can lift the trophy here.
Yeah, I hope you guys have best luck. But also before the recent Berlin major, you guys are also not on a great performance. How do you guys adjust? Also last week the Blast Pro, how do you guys adjust your state to prepare and get ready?
I think that before the Berlin major we had the player break, so we had a lot of time to practice and we used that really well. And here at Blast last week we also felt really prepared. I actually feel like we were playing the best CS we had in a long time leading up to the tournament. I think that the pressure is just different because it's a tournament in Denmark where we have 12,000 fans in the arena. Sometimes it's hard to perform in those settings. So yeah, for this tournament I actually feel like we don't have to adjust too much. It's more or less about the mentality going into the tournament. We know that there's not the same pressure on us. We have the jet lag excuse, not gonna use that, but you know that there's a lot of things that that weren't the same as when we were playing in Denmark, and I think that here we can play without pressure. We know that a lot of the teams here are teams we want to beat and we're able to beat.
Beijing device, a lot of people call them Beijing device, Shanghai device, or New York device. What do you think? Have you ever met people call them someplace device?
Actually, no, not really, but it's pretty funny. Of course, there's a lot of people. Sometimes when we play on deathmatch servers, we will join a server and then someone will be called Sipix and it's not him, and then if the real Sipix joins the server, they will go crazy. I think it's the same. I tried that sometimes and people are just spamming in the chat. It's really funny. I think that it's a cool fan culture, especially down here. I'm really excited to meet a lot of the fans. Actually, some of them have been in the hotel, and that's nice. Everyone has been so nice when I meet them, and of course I'm gonna meet a lot of them in the arena.
But you talk about home game pressure, but I'm sure there will be a lot of Astralis fans in the arena this time. So are you nervous?
Of course. I think you are not really a really good athlete or whatever you want to call it if you're not a little bit nervous. I think it's a part of the game. You really have to want to perform in front of your fans, especially now it's the first time we are here. We want to show China the real Astralis, and yeah, so of course there's a little bit of nerves, but I think if you can use it in the right way and just use the energy that the fans are giving you in the crowd and so on, then it will be fine. I think that sometimes what the issue with us has been in Denmark is that we get too eager to win because our families, our friends and everything are there, and it's just a celebration of what we have done over a few years in Denmark, and I think that we've learned a lot from the last few times we played in Denmark. So it's more or less about if you can use the energy, then you should use it, but if you can't and you know yourself that if you feel the pressure too much, you just have to isolate yourself and just focus on the game.
So I've been to IEM Chicago this year. I saw a lot of Liquid fans there. So think about what's your opinion about North American Counter-Strike and European Counter-Strike? Because EG Liquid, they recently performed pretty good. Liquid won the IEM Chicago Championship also before they won a lot of tournaments. Also EG today as the HLTV, they rank at the first place. So what do you think about North American Counter-Strike and European Counter-Strike?
As you said, I think that both Liquid and EG are really good teams. As EG are ranked 1 in the world. Unfortunately, Liquid are not here. But other than that, yeah, we're always really excited to play them because they have a different play style and they've always beaten us a lot in the different games, e.g. So we really want to get on top of that and start beating them, so we have the psychological advantage in that game. American CS has evolved quite fast over the past few years. When I was playing in TSM and in the start of Astralis, everyone was kind of laughing at NACS. And it has really evolved into a big industry and a lot of good players. So that's also good for Counter-Strike, and I hope that the same thing happens for the Asia region, that we will see a lot of more top teams coming out of these regions, so there will be a lot of more fans coming into the CSGO world, and also more teams competing for the trophies, right? So other than that, it's more or less, it's a team, we want to beat them, but of course we're happy that all of the regions are doing well. It's pretty important for the scene as a whole.
As Chinese Counter-Strike players, I feel pretty warm. You guys just not care about European teams or North American teams. You also care about Asian teams. So the whole Counter-Strike community. So what do you think about Tyloo and VG Gaming?
I think that actually, I think it was in 2017-16, Tyloo were really on the rise. They were playing a lot of tournaments in Europe and actually beating a lot of the top teams. I think that they beat SK and Malmö in 2016 when they were the best team in the world. At that point, everyone got really excited about Asian CS, and unfortunately, I think that the performance just dropped. But I understand that it's hard for them to always travel so far for tournaments, and there's a lot of expectations for them to do good results, and it's pretty tough. It's the same that we experience sometimes in Blast, that when people expect too much of you, you become too eager to perform and do good. So. I'm sure that with time everything evolves and the scene is gonna evolve, and you always see new players coming up, and yeah, I think they will do well in the future. We really don't know how much to expect. Now we are facing VG in the first game, so we're gonna just look at their past few games and analyze them, and hopefully we can beat them.
So it's coming to the end of this year. What's your goal, or what's your thinking? You can get which rank at the top 20 players?
Actually, it's funny. I don't really think so much about the player rankings. I think a lot more on the team rankings, because it's it kind of like the team ranking helps a lot with the player ranking, right? So I don't know, maybe top 5. I think again this year is always my goal to be in the top 5. Other than that, of course, some year I want to win. It's gonna be hard. We have Simba, we have Saivu, we have Elish, we have also Breeze from EG coming up as good players now. Electronic as well. I think that there are so many good players. Being in the top 5 is probably just the main goal for me. And then being top 1 with the team is always gonna be my main focus. So yeah, I hope that top 5, because then it would mean that I had top 5 years in a row, I guess. And other than that, yeah, maybe one year I will pursue the top 1 spot. Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty young still.
Good luck. Good luck. And what's your next year plan? Do you have any plan for next year?
So yeah, I think with Astralis, we always try to find new goals, and of course it's we want to win the 4th major in a row. We want to be able to consistently perform without changing lineup. I think that's one of the most important plans and ideas of our team, is that a lot of these teams, when they have problems, they just change a player and they hope for the best. I think that we want to prove that you can be the number 1 team in the world. You can go down to the 5th best in the world and maybe even drop down to top 10. I don't know, at one point, hopefully not, but still come back to the top 1 spot. I think that it's really important to show that you don't always need to change something with the lineup, but actually just change something in game or out of the game that will help the team to get back to this normal level.
So you guys, if anything like happen or going down, you just adjust yourself, like how teamwork, how anything wrong with your teamwork, and not just changing the lineup.
Yeah.
I hope the whole team have a stable environment so everyone can work toward the same goal.
Exactly. We adjust the training schedule. We adjust the psychological part of it. How many tournaments we go to, boot camping. Make sure that everyone are feeling good. It's really important that you have an environment where everyone can speak openly and say, I'm really having a bad period because of this or because of that, and we need to change this in the game because it's really hard for me to play this position or something like that. So it's always having like an open dialogue and speaking openly about what's going on in your mind, because we aren't mind readers. And I think that in the beginning of my career, when I was playing with Sipix and also Dupree, it was always hard to know what people were going through, and being open and speaking about everything in your life is really important for people to understand why if you're having a bad day, why, and if you're having a good day, and it makes it easier for us to share the good times with each other and also be understandable when people have a rough time.
I feel so moved. You guys really have a really good teamwork. And some little question, if you retire, you cannot play Counter-Strike anymore. What's your plan?
I think it's a tough question now. When I was a bit younger and CS wasn't this well, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to go into law school. CS happened, didn't have time for that. So now I'm really unsure when and what will happen when I quit. I have a lot of fun kind of looking at the different types of gear that people use for playing, and like especially the mouse. I'm really into the techniques and the ergonomic shapes, and a lot of you can do to prevent injuries and so on. I think that's something I kind of want to work with, and also develop new products that are useful for the pro players and can be useful for the amateur players as well. So I think that I will work with that in the future. Maybe even game development. I'm not quite sure. Something in related to gaming. I think that I can't really leave the world yet.
No badminton? No.
I actually started playing a little bit earlier this year. But I don't have the same level when I was young, so definitely not professional badminton.
But we are really expect you have your product or your games in the future. But thank you so much, and good luck for you guys, for your team, and hope you guys have a great time here in China.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say something to fans.
Oh,
Okay.
one more thing. I want to teach you some Chinese, very useful Chinese. So after tomorrow or later on, you can use this. Like how we say hello is 你好.
你好.
你好, yes. And how we say thank you is 谢谢.
谢谢.
Yeah.
Okay. 你好 and 谢谢.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So, or you can say introduce yourself. Hello, my name I'm Device. 就是 it's hello. I'm 我是 Device.
Okay.
Is that hard?
Can you say it again?
你好，我是 Device.
你好，我是 Device.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Excellent.
It's okay.
Yeah. And
See you guys in the arena. And yeah, I hope that you cheer for us. I know that we have a lot of fans down here, so yeah, I'm just excited to see you guys in the arena. Hopefully we will qualify for the semifinals. I'm pretty sure we'll make it, and see you guys there.